Good evening, everybody. This has been quite the day. Two things I want to talk about. First one being the situation with the car. Second one being the situation. Oh God, I don't even know if I want to talk about it mentally and emotionally. So we'll start with the car because that's easier. I test drove a M235i today. I don't remember if I talked about it in a previous video, but I had that car in my head. It seemed like a car that was, if I got one with higher mileage, it would be within my budget. And it's a gorgeous car. It's a fast car. At least I thought. And I would be really happy to have that car. So we went to this sketchy dealer today. These guys they weren't your state of the art sales tactics. They were definitely new, but they were what can I say? They were sketchy sales tactics. These guys were trying to get us to sign a bill of sale before we even drove the car. So, if that gives you any idea of how this place was operating, so they didn't let us drive the car without getting any information. So, unfortunately, I know you guys might get mad at me for doing this, but I let them run my credit. I already checked. My credit score went down by 1 point, which I guess is not too bad, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So I drive the car, and first of all, they have the car like tuned down. Like it didn't have all 300 horsepower. I don't think, because it felt slow. And what else? Yeah, and it felt slow, and it was a bad experience. And I kind of got the idea that if I'm gonna get a car that's among the cheapest BMW for this model, it's not going to be nice. It's going to be beat up. There are going to be things that are wrong with it. And I sensed that things were going wrong with the car when I was in it today. And I'm like, this is too much. I'm not going to be dealing with this. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get that car. I think I'm going to have to end up getting like a 328, something that's a little bit more practical, more common, cheaper, etc. You get the idea. So that's kind of unfortunate, but who cares? A car is a car, and I'm happy to be able to get a car that's within my budget, that's still stylish, that doesn't stretch the budget at all, that can help me either get my hands on real estate or help me get my hands on something more lucrative in the future. Okay. The next thing. The harder part. Sometimes you make decisions and you think you make the decision based on your head, based on what you know is right, based on logic, based on basic analytical skills. But sometimes your heart doesn't align with what your head is thinking. And that can be hard. Sometimes things don't go the way you think they're going to go immediately. And sometimes it feels like you're making the wrong decision in the short term. And there are many examples of this. For example, when I started at UC Santa Barbara, I tried getting jobs. As you've seen in the videos, if you've seen the previous videos, I've tried really doing a bunch of things. Getting more customers for NV accounting, getting jobs, internships, really anything that I could get my hands on that was related to accounting. And it didn't really work out at the time. I had a goal to buy a car at the end of summer. However, that's kind of being shifted, and now it's likely going to be a car at the end of fall, which is where we're at now, fortunately, gratefully. And what can I say? And I lost my train of thought. Oh, God. Over the summer, I tried getting a bunch of stuff, and it didn't work out. I had the goal to buy the car by the end of summer, and it didn't work out. And my roommate at the time landed a cool internship with um, RTX, I think formerly known as Raytheon. And I was like, damn, like I'm feeling like I'm behind in the race. But was I? I don't know. Probably not. But once fall came, once Meet the Firms came, I was able to use my connections a little bit more. Well, like I had any connections. I was able to make some more connections and get into the doors that I wanted to get in and get multiple offers. And that was the goal that I wanted, but it just happened a little bit later than I thought it would. And then in the short term, I was thinking that I was behind, blah, 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 blah. But my time just came a little bit later. And it really wasn't later because the internship is for 7 months away. So this is a much more of a small scale thing where the difference was only in months. But sometimes things don't work out on longer time horizons, like Rivian, for example. Rivian has been down for years and years and years ever since it IPO'd. Straight down. And am I to give up on my idea in the short term? Give up on the idea now because in the short term I'm wrong? Or do I have to look at things on a longer time scale and wait it out? You gotta wait it out. I mean, it's it's how life is. Things aren't gonna go. You're not just gonna buy the stock and then it's gonna shoot up. It's just not gonna do that. You know, you have to be willing to sit on a 5 or 10 year time horizon, and that's being tested with Rivian, and it's being tested in many different ways. But I think ultimately you have to stick to your guns. And in the short term, you can be wrong. You could feel like you're making the wrong decision. But ultimately, you have to let things play out. And people might be ahead of me in life right now, but but they're not me. They don't have my trajectory. They don't have my vision. They don't know what's going on in these videos. All of these videos are private. All of these are for me. And I think it's all like high school, or all like even middle school or elementary school. Yeah, I was not always your top star student, ASB class president, try hard kid. I had a 3.5 in high school, which is not a terrible GPA, but it's not the best GPA. And if you saw me in high school, you probably would think that this kid's probably not going to do too much. But unfortunately, I ended up with a Big Four offer. Started out at Cal State LA and realized, hey, I'm actually not too bad at these business courses. I'm actually not too bad at political science courses. I'm not too bad at accounting. I'm not too bad at economics. I'm not too bad at finance. I'm not too bad at presenting. I'm not too bad at writing. Hey, maybe I could be at a more competitive, more rigorous school. Then comes UC Santa Barbara. And then along with a more competitive and rigorous school comes more opportunities. Then multiple Big Four offers. And what can I add? And while I wasn't always at the top of my game, I have this pretty nice, just like inch forward, inch forward, inch forward trajectory that I've been continuously pressing on. Joining Wall Street Bound. Okay, yeah. You're at UC Santa Barbara, but it's not a target school. Not a target school for finance. Okay. Well, what if I find a organization that specifically tries to place kids from underrepresented backgrounds into finance roles? That changes the game a little bit. What if you're the best one out of those kids? Do those kids get offers? Slow progression. And who knows, maybe I will get an offer for a job that's a proper finance job. Maybe I will make more than what the Big Four accountants make. That would be fantastic. That's what I'm going to work towards. We'll see how it goes. But I am I just ranting at this point? Doesn't matter, because that's what you're here for. You are here for the rant, and I am here to rant. That's what I make the videos for. This is a lot cheaper than therapy, so you guys are going to have to bear with me here. Slow progression. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. Started off small at Stater Brothers. Moved up to In-N-Out. Moved up to being a lifeguard. Moved up from being a lifeguard to working at South Hills. I worked at South Hills and at the Arboretum. Got the real estate license. Launched Envy Professional Landscaping. Side income all over the place. Figured out that real estate wasn't for me. Figured out that I was good at taking college courses. Figured out that I needed to transfer. Figured out that I needed to focus on school. Quit my jobs. Focused on school. Transferred schools. Built up the resume. And then in the meantime, I also got my tax license and started doing taxes and started NV accounting. Then used NV accounting to get Price Waterhouse. Then joined Wall Street Bound and used Price Waterhouse to get something else. And then something else. And then something else. And then something else. Just that slow progression is what I do. I'm not the first person that's off the line. I'm not. It's the what's the saying? The tortoise and the hare. You might have been the hare. You might have got a fast start off that line. Boom! I didn't go to college. I just became a construction worker, and I started working full time. Boom! I'm making $5,000 a month. I'm making X amount a month. I'm making whatever a month. Okay. Slow progression. The tortoise. Where are you going to be at in 10 years? Where are you going to be at in 20 years? Where are you going to be at in 50 years? When you're 70? Slow progression. You might start fast and crash. But I think thus far, I've shown a tendency to stay resilient and just to continuously improve. And sometimes I'm wrong in the short term. Sometimes things don't always work out. Whether it be emotionally, whether it be financially, whether it be job-wise, whether it be educationally. But I truly have the conviction, the confidence, the vision to stick with myself, stick with the vision. Did I say vision already? I think I said vision twice. Stick with myself, stick with my beliefs, stick with my ambition, and create my own path. And this is an important video, especially as fall ends, especially as I'm transitioning everything that I do on a day-to-day basis. It's a good time to remind myself to trust myself, trust my decision making, trust that there will be a path for me. Be grateful for everything that I've already had, all the opportunities that I've already had, all the opportunities that I've created for myself, and to rest in the bed that I made, even though sometimes it's not made very well. Sometimes it's not fun to sleep in my bed. Metaphorically. I'm very grateful that I have a comfortable bed. But metaphorically, sometimes it's not nice to sleep in my bed. Yeah, I was stressed out during finals. Yeah, if I did finals at Cal State LA, it probably would have been a lot easier. But that was the bed I made, and I rest in that bed. Because I trust myself to make good decisions, even if they're hard decisions. With that being said, good night. I will see you tomorrow. It's late. I wanted to go to bed early today. What do I have tomorrow? Tomorrow I have volunteering thing with the family at 3 o'clock. In the morning I have nothing, so I'm not gonna try. I'm going to catch up on all of my leads that I have, etc. And what else? And then on Monday at 9 o'clock, I have a meeting with a client. New client. Actually, someone who's from Cal State LA, so shout out to that guy. That's about it. Good night. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.